And the whole universe operates by laws. There's something good in everything. And there's a law of opposites. It's called the law of polarity. Everything has its opposite. There's a right and a left side. There's a front and a back, an up and a down, a hot and a cold, positive and negative, yin to yang. You know, you can think negative or you can think positive, but you can't think both at the same time. You're only going to think one way at one time. And we have to train our mind to think or look for the positive or the good in things. There's good in everything. There's no such thing as no good. There's something good about it. And you may have to look to find out what it is. There's something good in everything. There has to be a positive and a negative for anything to exist. There's a law of decrees. That science understands. It's taught in science. So we understand that there's this law of opposites. There's negative thoughts or positive thoughts. As the thought energy flows into our mind, we decide what we're going to think. Person's out at work. They can decide to think I can't find a job, but they can decide to think I can. If they're thinking I'm going to find one, then they'll start attracting a train of thought to them, figuring out how to find it. You really have to understand how your conscious and your subconscious mind works in relation to your body or your physical world to understand attitude. Attitude should be taught as a subject in school ahead of reading, writing, arithmetic, or anything else. It's a person's attitude that's going to determine the marks they get. There's something good in everything. We were talking about success principles, and I was saying, you got to get the winning attitude, you've got to set a goal. Then you have to work on self-image. Now, when we think, we build images in our mind. Dr. Maxwell Maltz discovered the self-image concept as we know it today. In 1960, he was a plastic surgeon. He was operating on people. He may have removed a nasty scar from their face. And he noticed sometimes when he removed the scar or maybe did a nose job on them or something, there was a great psychological change that took place in the person. Where they may have been introverted, they started to become very gregarious and outgoing. And he postulated that there must be two images that we have, an exterior image, and we also have an inner self-image. And he started to study this, and he wrote a magnificent book on it called Psycho-Cybernetics. Psycho-Cybernetics, psycho being the mind, cybernetics being the science of control and communication. And he goes into this good in things. There's good in everything. There's no such thing as no good. There's something good about it. Now you may have to look to find out what it is, but there's something good in everything. And he goes into this and he explains how every one of us has an image in our mind of ourself, and it's called a self-image. Too many people don't know much about themselves, and so they don't have a very good image of themselves. You'll often notice that people will shy away from you. They won't look you in the eye. They'll look down or look up. They'll never try to do anything of any great consequence because they don't think they can. They have a poor self-image. I think there's been a great disservice done with the IQ test in that respect when you're bringing out school. Binet, the Frenchman, back around the turn of the century, invented the IQ test, and then we brought it over from Stanford over here, and we'll test a person's intellect, and then we'll brand them good, bad, smart, not, and that's all false. That's not true. We can change IQs by changing self-images. There's no such thing as no good. There's something good about it. Something good in everything. Good. We can do anything, and we should be encouraging a child. Give them a pat in the back rather than a kick. We all have a self-image. Let's say we can all improve our self-image. Okay. I don't care how good your image is, you can improve it. There's good in everything. There's something good about it. Good. Now you may have to look to find out what it is. Something good in everything. Good. There's something good about it. Something good in everything. Now you may have to look to find out what it is. There's something good about it. Something good in everything.